Welcome to Lively Lewis Stories.
Buckle up, because you're about to join Levi and Ivy on an adventure.
All you need is your imagination, and off we
go! Lively Lewis Stories!
The day started out as it normally did for Ivy. She woke up from a wonderful, restful sleep where she dreamt all night long about her most favorite thing in the whole world. Being a princess. In her dreams, she would wake up in a beautiful castle, start off the day with a royal breakfast, followed by activities fit for a princess and a royal ball at night. Of course, her mom, dad, and brother Levi were all there with her, and she couldn't imagine anything more fantastic. Ivy wanted to be a real princess more than anything, and since she hadn't been born a princess, she thought the next best thing was to just start acting like one, which didn't always go over well with her mom, dad, and Levi. "No, honey, I can't get you a carriage to bring you back and forth to school," Ivy's dad would say when she would ask. "You'll have to just keep riding the royal school bus with Levi." "Ivy, dear, 2 tea parties today is certainly more than enough," her mom would respond when she was asking for a pre-dinner tea. "Ivy," Levi would yell, "get all of these princess dresses, tiaras, and royal wands out of the toy room. I can't find my blocks in your royal mess." "They'll never understand," Ivy whispered to herself. "I was made to be a princess. I just have to get them to see it." Before Ivy stepped out of her bed, she wiggled her feet into her royal slippers. Then she put on her royal robe and walked over to her closet. Now what should I wear today?" she asked herself as she stared in the mirror in her closet door. "Something royal, of course." But what Ivy didn't know was that when she opened her closet, she would get the surprise of a lifetime, because there in Ivy's closet was the most magnificent princess dress she had ever seen. It was light blue with purple and pink swirls of color, but more impressive than the amazing fabric were the sparkles. The dress sparkled brighter than the starriest night Ivy had ever seen. She was stunned at how beautiful it was and simply couldn't believe it was there in her closet. Where did it come from? Am I still dreaming? Should I try it on? All of these questions and more ran through Ivy's head as she called out to her mom. Mom, did you buy me a new princess dress and leave it in my closet?" Ivy exclaimed. But she didn't get a response. She just figured everyone had started their day, which sometimes happened on the weekend since a princess requires a lot of sleep. Ivy didn't think any more about it and decided she had to try on the dress. She stepped into her closet and then into the dress. It fit as if it were made only for her. The sparkles on it were even more sparkly when she had it on. She did a spin there in the closet and quickly realized that a dress of this awesomeness needed a much bigger spinning area. With that thought, she twirled out of her closet and got another amazing surprise. Instead of standing in her bedroom at home, she found herself standing in the bedroom from her princess dream. It was enormous with towering stone walls, the most beautiful canopy bed set upon the most regal-looking rug, which was swirled with the same colors in her dress. Sun shone in through 5 giant stained glass windows made to look like scenes from her favorite fairy tales. Color from the glass painted the floors with rainbows, which Ivy twirled and danced through without a care in the world. But after a moment, she started to wonder, how did I get here? Is my family here too? Am I still dreaming? Am I a real princess? No sooner did she start to think about all of these things than she heard a familiar voice. "Ivy, it's time for breakfast," called her mom from just outside her bedroom door. She ran to open it and see if it was really her. "Mom!" Ivy exclaimed. "I'm so happy to see you here." "Where else would I be, Ivy?" giggled her mom. "We always eat breakfast together at the royal castle. Now, let's hurry. Dad and Levi are waiting for us." Ivy quickly followed her mom through the huge halls of the castle to a giant dining room. The table looked to be a mile long. Ivy and her mom sat at one end while Levi and her dad sat way at the other end. "Good morning, Ivy," shouted her dad. "I hope you had a good night's sleep." "Hi, Ivy," shouted Levi. "I asked for chocolate chip pancakes for breakfast. I hope that's okay with you." Ivy nodded her head and waved at her dad and Levi. I love chocolate chip pancakes. And it was a good thing she did, because the stack of pancakes that was brought out for her and Levi could have fed 10 princesses and their families. Levi and Ivy gobbled up their pancakes, and when they couldn't eat another bite, they asked if they could go play. Sure, just don't leave the castle, said Ivy's dad. Remember, you're picking out horses for your royal school carriage this morning, so you need to stay close by. Yes, we'll call you when they arrive, added Ivy's mom. Ivy couldn't believe it. A carriage to take her to school, just like she always wanted. Levi quickly led Ivy down a long hallway, playing a royal game of follow the leader. First down the hallway, then through a beautiful courtyard covered in flowers, then around the moat, over the drawbridge. Once they got to the other side of the castle, they ran into their playroom. So many toys, said Ivy, spinning around in her dress to get a look at all of them. Then she saw the dress-up closet. So many dresses, tiaras, and wands? Yeah, I know, Levi groaned. Please don't scatter them all over the playground. You always make such a mess. After playing for quite a while and trying on tiaras, Ivy and Levi heard their mom calling. Ivy, it's time to pick out your horses, she said. Ivy ran out to the courtyard where 5 regal horses were waiting to be seen. I love them all, she said. Then we'll take all of them, said her mom. We can keep them in the stables in the village for everyone to enjoy, and when it's time for school, we'll pick the horses you want to use that day. Ivy was so happy she had no words. She just smiled and hugged her mom. Thank you so much, she said. You're welcome, Ivy, but we better hurry if we're going to make it to first tee, she said. First tee? Ivy said in a surprised voice. How many teas do we have each day? At least 3, replied her mother. There's the first tea after breakfast, mid-afternoon tea after lunch, and then pre-dinner tea. Pre-dinner tea! Ivy exclaimed in a whisper, just like she always wanted. We do have to be quick today because you do have writing lessons and dance class too before we get ready for your royal ball tonight. Her mom reminded her as they walked into a courtyard where the tea was waiting. After a lovely party with honey tea and little cakes and treats, Ivy went for her riding lesson. She helped her horse get ready and rode around the royal arena several times before it was time to leave for her dance class. She changed into a gorgeous ballet outfit and danced in the most beautiful dance studio she'd ever seen. After dance class, it was time to get ready for the royal ball. The whole town would be there, and Ivy was told how much they always enjoyed seeing which magnificent dress she would be wearing. She couldn't imagine a more beautiful dress than the one she had found that morning, so she chose that one and a sparkly tiara. She walked outside ready to go when she was joined by Levi, her mom, and her dad, and one other visitor she was not expecting. A dragon? Exclaimed Ivy with pure joy as she ran over to the dragon and gave her a big hug. Will you come to the royal ball with us? Of course, Ivy. Luna always tags along to all of your royal balls. She loves to dance after all, said Ivy's dad. So off they went to the royal ball and had the most wonderful time. Ivy had such a wonderful time, in fact, that she didn't want the fun to end. She invited the whole village back to the castle where they all played and danced for the rest of the night. After a long day of being Princess Ivy, she was very tired. Ivy said goodnight to her mom and dad and Levi and walked into her giant bedroom. She looked at herself in the mirror on her closet door. She marveled once more at her beautiful princess dress before walking into her closet to put on her PJs. But what Ivy didn't know was everything was about to change again. As she stepped out of her closet to jump into bed, she noticed something very different. No more towering stone walls, no more beautiful canopy bed. Ivy was back in her normal bedroom. No more Princess Ivy, she said in a whisper. Then she looked at herself in the mirror on her closet door and smiled. Even though she wasn't a princess anymore, she got to live her dream, if only for one day, and that was pretty special. Ivy was actually pretty happy to be home. The more she thought about it, being a princess was fun, but being just Ivy was even better. She ran off to find Levi. When she finally found him, he was in the playroom picking up her princess dresses and tiaras. Oh, sorry about that, Levi. Let me help you, she said. Wow, both of you cleaning the playroom together? I must be dreaming, said Ivy's mom as she walked in. No, Mom, you're not dreaming, Ivy said with a smile. That's good, because I thought it would be kind of nice to have one of your pre-dinner tea parties now. Would that be okay? Ivy's mom asked. Her dad walked around the corner before she could answer. And if you'd like, Princess Ivy, I could be your royal horse and take you to the tea party. Ivy couldn't believe it. I would love that, she said. Levi, would you like to be my royal guest? Sounds great to me. I don't like tea much, but I love those little cakes and treats, he said with a laugh. Then off they all went, Princess Ivy and her wonderful royal family.
Did you learn a lesson from this story?
If so, what was it?
And parents, do your kids have a story idea?
Leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, the idea, and your kid's name for a chance to join Levi and Ivy on their next adventure. Until next time.
Thanks for listening. Come back for more.